Welcome back to the Beagle Homestead. Some of you wanted to see how I make my creamy soups. So, this was a roast we had today. It was a 14-pound butt roast, pork butt roast. And I'm going to pick the fat out of it in a little bit because I'm just not going to eat the fat. And some carrots, a couple bags of celery, some onions, I've got some garlic, I've got spices. And tonight I'm just gonna cook slowly the carrots, the celery, and the onions most of the night, all night long before I go to bed. These will go in. And then in the morning at about 4 o'clock I'll add that, and at 5 o'clock I will can it. But I will show you how I do the cream. So we can make cream of, and this is really good. And I think you'll like it, because there's no thickener in it, but it's creamy. It is cream of like pork and vegetable soup, or you can leave it thick and just use it as a stew. You can do a lot with it. And then the next roast we make, I'm just gonna cut it all up. I'm not gonna leave it raw because it's got a lot of fat. I'm gonna cook it, and then I'm gonna slice it all up, put water around it, and then I'm gonna put it into can so we can have pulled pork barbecue. So I will bring you back when I get all this stuff going. It's going to cook in there at night. Okay guys, here is some of the soup. I haven't got the meat in because this has to cook, and I'm going to put it on about 200 and let it cook all night. Very, very slow. I may not even have it that high. I want to get it cooked by 4 o'clock in the morning where I can add the meat and let it cook again for a little while. And these are all the goodies. These are all the goodies. Celery, carrots, corn, onions. All the stuff I really like. Stuff I'm not actually allergic to either. So at any rate, we're going to turn this down on low. These 2 quarts of russet potatoes that I canned will be used to thicken all this. I might have to get a third one, but I want to get the meat in. We'll start cooking that later in the morning. And, or I'm sorry, earlier in the morning. I'm tired tonight. Anyway guys, there's that. And I'll set this up and get this ready to go, and I'll see you in a few hours. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to put the meat in. I just got it out of the fridge. And I'm about half awake, and I'm all good. Anyway, I'm going to get the meat put in. If you remember the meat, let's see if I can turn the camera. It's right there. I'm going to go ahead and start putting it over into the soup. And this was my stuff that you see me put in last night before I went to bed. And as soon as I got it put in, I'll bring you back. Okay. Now, just a little closer down. I'm going to get my messy table, just the food. And as you can see, I worked the meat and cut it all up, got it all in there. I'm going to have a few canners full this morning, I believe. I may have to go out and get more jars, because I have about 12, I went through about 12 cases of the canning jars in the last few months, so that one pretty much took me out of everything. I got my wood spoon over here. Yep. I did use it, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to get this canned up. I only used half of that big bowl of meat because some of it has a lot of fat. Those pork butt roasts have a crap load on it. And I don't want a whole lot of fat in here, if any at all, but it was a little impossible to not get any at all. So now I don't have a blender, so I will show you how I thicken this without having any flour or cornstarch or anything to make it thick. Which means I gotta get another bowl right here. I got up in the night and pulled some juices out of here. And I'm taking the potato jars. All my equipment's really out in the barn from when we moved here. So, yeah, it's be a little difficult this morning. Alright, I'm going to take you right over here. These are those potatoes. Excuse me. Summer allergies suck. I don't get them always until late. Now you want to keep all the juices in there with them. As you can see, there's a lot of potato. So I'm going to do these all by hand. My mushers are all out in the barn. Yeah, we have to sneak out there a little bit and get them. And I'll bring you back when I have these all mushed up. Okay, it took me over an hour to do a 5-minute job, but these are the potatoes. I don't know if you can see them. These are the potatoes that were in that jar. I mushed them all up with a little tiny food processor. So I had to run outside and get the blade to it, but this is what it is. Now a blender works much better. And this is all you use to thicken up your soups. You do not need thickener. You do not need cornstarch or anything else for that matter to thicken it. I may have to get another jar. That's the only thing I may have to do. Excuse me. And we're getting this going. Yeah, I'm probably going to need 1 or 2 more. But it's really good. I may not, because sometimes when I found that when I've used this, it thickens on its own as it sits in the jars. And then I can always, I will have thickener maybe when it comes out. Maybe I'll get some cornstarch. My mom used to use flour, and she could make really good gravy. It wasn't lumpy or anything. I have a problem using flour. But this will thicken this right up. You won't need any kind of thickener. Makes very good soup. Or if you have instant potato pieces, you put them all through this and it thickens it up. It's another thing that works. And doing pretty good. I may run out and get another jar and try to fight with the food processor. I just may wait. Then when I open it, I can either crush one up. That's how I thicken my soups. So, in a little bit, this is going to cook a little longer. Just need to get it good and mixed in. And then we'll come back and can it up. Clean up my mess. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when we're ready to throw it in the jars. I've got my spices in, and I'm going to let it cook for a bit. The carrots and the potatoes are a little bit hard. I want them a little softer, because when we put this in the jars, it's only going to go for 60 minutes. We're going to be in quart jars, but it's already been cooked. So we are going to do soups, meats, and stuff like that for, I believe it's 60 minutes. I'll look back on the charts for this. But I really am excited about getting this going. As you can see, I put my spices in. Use a lot of parsley and bay leaves and a ton of garlic. I love garlic, can't get enough of it. And so I'll bring you back when I start canning it up. Now my jars have to be warm because this is very hot. The jars really need to be quite warm. I don't want to break my jars and waste food, so I will get my jars filled with real hot water, set them in hot water, and bring them over one at a time to do them. Oh, I forgot the pepper. Okay guys, it is time to start jarring up. I had this jar filled with hot water, so now I'm going to get it over here.
We've always said that we're aiming to get this vaccine being administered, being used by the end of this year. And because of that, unusually, we've gone to...
Now I brought in another quart of potatoes
very early on, and that's
so that I could show you yet how I still do the...
this vaccine over the next 12 months.
Alright.
We'll have 2 billion doses by the end of the year, but hopefully we'll have 900 millions that we'll be able to provide that for at-risk individuals at the end of the year. So that's still...
I just don't want to lay this anywhere. Now, I've got it over here, and you can see it's close enough. Come on, Chase, go. Go on. I'm going to dip this into a little bit of that. Come on, stop it. Go on. Get. Good boy, Chase. He is our little Labradoodle. But before I do that, I want to put this back in because I need to get air bubbles out and everything. Alright. And I have some apple, or just regular white cider, distilled white vinegar, not cider. I'm sorry, guys. I go like that. Go like this. Now you do not have to put your lids in hot water anymore. You have to clean off the top good. Get one of these on. Alright. And you get the tops on. Once all these are done, I've got hot water. You only do it finger tight. Just finger tight. Take it over, set it in your canner, and do another jar. When I get them all jarred up, I'll bring you back. Alright guys, I can bring you back and show you something. If you cannot see through that hole, then you just need to lightly blow on it. But I could see through it. Alright, and then that's what we have left. Yeah, I probably still have another 14 quarts left. Wonderful. Let me wipe this off. At any rate, I'm going to show you what I do. As I wash the black ring, I'm going to have to redo it now as I drop it on the floor. And I make sure it's all clean and there's no dirt or grime on the little ring. And then I put it back in the top of the canner. And we will start the canner. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start and I'll show you the jars. Here it is and it's ready to go. We will get it started. I'm going to get the top on, and then when it's all done canning, I will bring you back. It will can for 75 minutes for quarts with soup. Just looking for a seal. Everything has been cooked, so we do 75 minutes for quarts and 60 minutes for pints when you have it like this. So I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, here's all the goodies I got done. And it's looking really good. Shouldn't be doing that yet. I just pulled those out a little bit ago. This was the first batch. I did 7 of these. These are for bigger meals. And then sometimes hubby don't like soups and I do, or vice versa. So here is the stuff. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 21, and there's 2 more in the refrigerator that didn't seal. I had 3 of them not seal and like 1 in each batch. I don't get it. But so most of these jars were from St. Vincent's, or yeah, I think I got them at St. Vincent's or the Goodwill. At any rate, they were 10 cents a jar, and you reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. And that is what we have. So tomorrow morning I'll start cleaning them up. I'll date them and get them out to the other place. I want to say God bless and thanks for watching. Bye.